Hey guys, new tutorial on the Santa holding snow globe, especially for the newer users of Photoshop. I'm going to show you how it looks best to extract your subject. A lot of you are newer, likely due to COVID, and you're putting your picture in the globe and leaving the background there, and you're more than welcome to do that. But if you do that, you lose all the magic. So I'm going to show you. Here's the this is the 2020 version of Photoshop. I updated it to 2021. There were lots of bugs like program errors, couldn't save. They're all documented, so I stepped down. So that is why. So I'm going to hit this select subject that is there for the 2020. And I'm doing that because I want to show you how easy that is. I'm not using her, but if you did, you're selected there and you don't have to do much of anything at all. I'm taking her out by using the selection tool and the minus, which means remove it from the selection. So now I've just got my the little boy here. So now I'm going into select and mask, and this is where I can refine that selection. And I'm just going around the edges, and my settings have obviously been reset since I just downgraded, but I'm going to feather it around 1, which just softens the edges a bit, and I'm going to do output new layer with layer mask. And I'm just looking at it to make sure when I refine the edge, I'm using the refine edge tool. I've got it on the plus. It's taking into consideration that I want to feather my edges to soften them a little bit. And that's it. Now, from here, you can apply your mask and copy and paste it into the globe. I prefer to duplicate it and then select the document that it's going to, because I like to have that mask available to me just in case. So now, another thing I get a message is I can't get my child on this layer. You don't have to get it on the layer. This is a layer holder. You can copy and paste it into that by going Control A, Control C, Control V. Or you can just put it, that's just your placeholder to let you know this is where it needs to go. Now, one thing I'm going to show you, I'm going to Control T to resize it, and I'm just going to drag the edges out. And then I'm going to right click and flip it horizontally. Okay? Now I've still got that, sometimes that happens if you don't apply the layer mask, so I'm going to take my black brush at 100% and I'm going to brush it off just so it's not there, okay? Now, to show you what I mean by it doesn't matter if it's here or right above it, the point is to have the image below the color grading and glass snow overlay. In this way, every image is going to look different, okay? It depends on where you start, but it gives you a good starting point. I used to not have this layer for available, and you would have to blend your subject to match this background like this. So I added these color grading layers to give you a good starting point. Now what you can do is you can make adjustments to these. You can, to the overall image, or if you say, hey, I don't want, let's see, let me look at one of these. For instance, the tone. Let's say you don't want the tone of your child to be that dark. You can reduce your opacity on a white brush and just brush it off, on a black brush to remove it, and just brush it off, the areas you don't want it to be. So you've got a good starting point, and then it's just as simple as making those adjustments so it matches what you want. So you can turn it on or off. You can take this and reduce those layers if you like. You can have them all the way up. It's up to you. And then for the blending part, with a soft brush for the snow, it's pretty simple. You just kind of keep your brush soft and away from the subject so the edge just gets on there. So it looks like it's blowing snow. And you can even add your own snow. Here's a brush. I'm hitting Alt to get the color of the snow here. And I'm going to do it at a low opacity. And I'm just kind of brushing a little bit of extra snow on them. Another thing, after you get your, one thing I wanted to show you is, I'm going to duplicate this to show you the difference. I'm going to delete this layer mask. A lot of people were putting their image in here like this, like, why didn't it take it away? Because the purpose of this file is so that you extract your child, because of here's why. You can add your mask and you can control I, which inverts it, and you could just paint your subject in, get it all the way up. You could just paint your subject in and it doesn't look bad with a white background. But if you have a black background, and I'll show you how that looks. If you have a black background that's here and you leave it in, it's going to take away all the glow in the background. You know, some people have like the trees in the background or whatever, and that takes away from it. So here he is extracted. Here he is not. Do you see the difference? All the sparkles are gone. So it really takes away from the image. So I recommend, it's very simple to do an extraction, because that was the intention of this file, to make it look super magical. Now once you're extracted, you can apply the layer mask. Oops, wrong file. A wrong action. I deleted the layer mask. You can apply the layer mask, okay? And then what I do to make it a little more magical is I do effect inner shadow, and I do it in a color dodge, and I do it in white, and I make sure that this is pointing the way the light is. So you see that little glow around him, and you can change the distance and the size, but it just really helps add the little bit of magic there. Now, the glass and snow is over your person when you drag it here. You got the color grading layers that you can turn on or off, and that you can also individually make changes to. And again, with the extracted subject, that's the way it looks most magical to me. So I hope that helps. I hope that you learned something, and I know there's a lot of new users out there, so I hope you guys take a chance to look at this tutorial, and I hope that it helps you understand the file a little bit better. So have some happy holidays, and until next time, stay enchanted.